YouTube, Glow Yard Gang, everywhere else. Welcome to the best damn combat sports review show out there. This is We Talk Combat, where we talk about all things combat and combat sports entertainment. We have a special show for you guys today. We have a special guest as well. You may already know him, but before we get there, a few things. Let me introduce my co-host. First and foremost, Queen, how are you today, babe? Uh-oh, did she freeze? Okay. Travis, what's up? We'll get back to her. Travis, how you doing today, bro?
How you doing, bro?
I can't complain, bro. How you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling good. Feels good to be back. But let's get into it.
How you doing, bro? Oh my goodness, what's going on? I can't even hear you.
I feel good to be back. Can you hear me?
No, not you, BA.
Oh, I didn't hear my name to get on the intro tip. But no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm hearing everybody else. I'm good.
Good. Queen, she's still frozen for a second, but if you didn't already, do us a huge favor. BA's left shoulder somewhere. Also hit that notification. Actually, share the video if you could as well. Queen, you're back. She's back, y'all. How you doing, babe? How you feeling today?
Oh, well, I did say I was feeling good and that I was on chemo 3 tomorrow, and then I disappeared. But I'm still excited, and we have a guest today, so it's going to be a great day.
Yes, ma'am. And also, if you could, before we start, y'all, follow us on We Talk Combat Clips as well, where we do all the condensed versions of our shows and shorts. Help us get to our subscriber goal over there, which is the same as over here. We're trying to get to our first 500. And if you didn't know, we have guests, so welcome to the stage, our guy from New Wrestling World Order himself, Mr. Deitrich Davis. Hey.
What's going on?
What's going on, Deitrich, bro? How you feeling today?
I'm all right. Relaxed.
Good. You ready to talk about some WWE and TKO maybe?
Yeah, that's what I specialize in. The white man's pockets. So.
Yes, sir. Amen.
And how they move.
So if you guys didn't know, we basically go around the room and we're gonna give our highs and lows of the weekly shows that happened on WWE this week, and then we'll get to the tea afterwards. And lastly, we'll get to some questions and comments if you guys have them. If you're interested in talking to us, we ask that you keep it respectful in the comments and hit us with the @WTC so we know you're talking to us and not one of the Glow Yard members in the comments. And let's get straight to the highs and lows, y'all. All right, y'all. So this week we had another week of WWE. I guess you can call it that. I don't know when it actually becomes pro wrestling again, but we'll get to that one. I guess we just go around the room. Deitrich, we'll start with you since you're the guest, bro. What were your highs and lows of this week's Raw, if you remember? And what would you give it as an overall letter grade?
Oh, letter grade is a Z. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to myself. Like, I'll give a little bit about my background later, but in the film and television market, it's I think they're just appealing to a guaranteed subscription base and cable provider base at this point. And I think it's just about getting people to the next big live event every 2 weeks. So I don't even think they're putting anything into it. The calling the group division or whatever they want to call it when it comes to Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns sneakers getting taken on some nigga shit is kind of trash. Like 2 weeks in a row, you know, in real life, I might have to shoot you behind some shit like that. And then I don't know. I think Triple H is just doing everything at this point. Triple H, Abyss, and William Regal or doing this for the love and affection that Vince never gave them as they coddle everybody from week to week to show. There's nobody competing for their spots. It's everybody waiting to be hugged and a finger point, in my personal opinion. So I would give SmackDown and Raw a complete Z. Like, there's no reason. Failure to launch and failure to communicate completely to the audience.
Let's save the SmackDown review because we're basically probably going to all have the same review on that one. But for Raw, definitely a Z. Queen, let me get to you next. What was your highs and lows of Raw this week, and what's your overall grade?
I mean, I won't go with a Z, but definitely a D. Like he said, the repeating of Roman Reigns and like the emasculating that they're doing to him is kind of blowing me a little bit. Like it ran its course now. I don't feel like they should be keeping it up. I don't care about Charlotte Flair or Alexa Bliss. I don't like either of them. So I don't know why they did that little middle point where they had that a Canadian girl come out. I mean, I guess because of where they were at. I don't know. They burying LA Knight. That's crazy because.
Frozen. Your boy LA Knight. Oh, she's back. Go ahead.
But I didn't. I came back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's getting out of Travis. We're gonna go to you, Travis. What was your? Hold on, Queen. We're gonna get back to you at the end. Travis, what were your highs and lows of this week's Raw and your overall at the great, bro?
For this episode of Raw, I gave it a D, also a pause. It's just like every match this week was basically trash to me. Like even down to my favorite LA Knight, that was trash. The best thing for Raw for me this week was the whole Becky Lynch promo, and I'm pretty sure we was all that dude in the crowd in the suit, with the overexcited face and everything like that. But yeah, there's nothing much for me to really say about Raw this week other than a D. But I have more to say about the SmackDown part of the show, but I'm giving Raw a D this week.
Okay. All right. So we got a Z, a D, and a D. Pause. BA. What's your highs and lows of Raw this week, bro? And what's your overall at the great?
I'm pretty much on the same wavelength as everybody else. I guess I'll start off by giving it a D because something has to get an F, and we'll hear about that later. LA Knight, thank you for coming back. We appreciate you. I forgot you was here for a second. The fact that you was not on SummerSlam is criminal at best. Damn shameful for what they did to him, but he's back. Well, welcome back. I want Sheamus and Rusev just to be a tag already. I'm tired of the feud. I'd rather just see them together and just do whatever they do from then on. I think that's what they're leading to, but I think this one-on-one rivalry just is running its course a little bit too long. So just tag them up and let them just, bash people together. Pause. That's all I really care about that. Charlotte and Leicester, I'm okay with seeing them once a week. And apparently we're seeing them every time now. And I think they're running into the same thing that I had issues with the Judgment Day. They were like on every show. And it's like, okay, we get that you're the champions, but now you're kind of overdoing it. So let's just dial it back in a little bit. Let other people actually fight to get the belts. And then we can see you every now and then. You can still make your little backstage appearances and things like that. That's cool. I don't need to see you fight every week. And of course, Travis just hit on the Nikki and the Becky thing. Great job, Becky. That was a one-shot kill. I don't even want to see them fight. She did the LL Cool J cannabis joint. Just one shot. That's all I need. I don't need to see them fight because it's not going to live up to that one particular spot in within her promo. So I don't need it, and I don't want to see it. Yeah, and then like you said, I mean, y'all been pretty much hitting on everything. Pause. Just the Shula Fowler thing, like that's run its course now. Like, okay, all right, we didn't seen it once. Now we gotta see it again. And like you said, this is just like it's for people that look like us, it's bad vibes. I guess other people don't realize that they don't see that, but it's like, yeah, we know what that means when you have shoes on top of wires and things like that. Like that's not necessarily the best thing to keep promoting in a sense. And he changed his whole social media tags and stuff like that around and all this other stuff. So I'm over that. So everybody was doing their own thing, and Roman comes out and gets beat up. Where's Jay? Like, we just forget that Jay was just on that SummerSlam card. Did he need a break? Because I know they was talking about how he, was fat and out of shape and unreal. Did he need another break? Is he not the same Yeet man? Like, what happened to him? So we go from oversaturation of Yeet to no Yeet at all. Like, that's what we doing. Did he get a break? If they knew that he was going to be out for Monday, why not have him get beat up some more to sell the fact that he was going to be out? Like, I just it bothers me at times. They're planning, and hey, man, that's an F, man. I changed it, man. I didn't really have anything I liked about this, so we dropping this down. It's just that vibe today, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna get that F.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna agree with you, bro. Well, Queen, first and foremost, go back to your point. Finish what you were saying. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say that we're at the point where there's not enough people that are actively have a decent storyline going around, that we keep seeing the same people every week, and it's getting old. Like we're not seeing a rotation of like a new story. We're not even seeing like any of the other people in little side stories, like how they'll just do the little in between camera stuff. Yeah, they didn't even do any of that. It's like the same 7
Long-term
people
booking.
that we keep seeing everybody like every week. Like yeah, Becky had a good promo and everything, and that was probably the biggest pop of the week. But otherwise, yeah, I'm tired of seeing all these people. And Seth Rollins can go back to being injured or fake injured, because he came back as a Vision, and it was just kind of like wah wah, and that was it. D.
Okay. I'm gonna give it an F. And usually when Roman's there, I don't give it an F because I just say somehow he saved the day. But I'm gonna give this show an F because he actually showed up after the credits, I believe, after they showed Paul Levesque and all that. So he's not even really a part of the show. Shout out to Becky Lynch for doing what she did for murdering Nikki Bella, and Nikki set that up herself, like set it up for her to get destroyed. You should have knew that was going to happen. So I'm with you, BA. I don't want to see that match, especially when Nikki Bella's out here botching her own finishing move. I definitely don't want to see that. This Shula Fowler thing played out. This Vision team is already played out. They just got a name. This is one of Paul Heyman's duds, I believe. I've said that before. This is like Axel, I guess. What is it, Axel? Curtis Axel. That guy, like when he had him, this is the same thing for me. Like it's just not working. And I'm kind of burned out from WWE in general, y'all. I've said that in the group chat to y'all. Like I don't really watch this. Like it plays in the background. I'm like, I know I have to do work on this, but I don't care because
let me interject for a second. I don't think this is usually Paul Heyman is pretty sharp. I don't think this is a Paul Heyman issue. I think this is for the first time they're not utilizing Paul Heyman. Bronson Reed doesn't need to be over there, but Steiner. And when it's just him and Paul Heyman,
it flows.
Everybody feels the electricity, but it gets rolled back the moment you put Seth and Bronson in front of him.
So I think Paul Heyman I think Paul Heyman is the GOAT. Like let me get that. Let me make sure everybody knows
he's being restricted for the first time in his career.
I think there are times when even with Curtis Axel, he was restricted. I don't think that Paul Heyman could have. This Curtis Axel was skilled. You feel me? Like I think he could have got something out of him, but they didn't allow him to. And I think the same thing is going on here, where he's handcuffed to something that's kind of like corny. So it's not just he isn't rubbing off on it. It's not just the Vision with Paul
Curtis kind of admit that his heart wasn't completely into it, so that would make a big difference. But Steiner, when he was standing over Roman just a few weeks ago and recutting his promo, there was one magical mistake. They should have had him put the mic in his hand and repeat that promo so the whole audience can hear it, because you felt it as a camera. But Triple H with this fake reality and Renaissance move where the person's voice magnifies by the microphones under the ring, that kind of hurt him. So where he cut the best promo of his life, that's when Paul Heyman can step in the next week and elevate him. He doesn't need that, and they're missing a lot of cues. It takes 30 seconds to make one show great.
Yep.
So when you miss that 30 seconds marker, and this is for me understanding television production, if you're consistently missing those 30-second markers, then by the end of 2 hours and 31 minutes, you're going to have a dud show that only had 27 minutes worth of wrestling.
Yes, I agree. That's
basically those highlight videos. That's essentially the best parts of the whole episode.
The wrestlers are now pieces of content. They're not talent no more. They're content. Everybody from New Japan down, all over the world, all wrestling now is just content makers.
And that was the point I was going to get to next. It was going to get to Triple H. This is all Triple H is. I don't like the way Triple H, between Triple H and TKO, and we'll get to that later on as far as their different agendas, but I don't like that. I feel like you have one guy that's trash at being a promoter, and then you have a company that's trash as far as caring for the people. So you have high ticket prices and trash on the TV, and it's like no in between, because you wish one of them would balance out the other, and it doesn't make sense. So it's like, why do I want to watch this?
It's unjustifiable madness at this point.
Exactly. It's becoming insane for me to watch this because I don't like the storyline.
Roman Reigns. I want better product.
Yes, Roman Reigns right now, there's no reason for me to watch it. Like I know Roman Reigns, they're not Triple H doesn't care about Roman anymore. He's pushing the next guy. He has his eye on something
because Roman was never his guy.
Exactly. He was Vince McMahon's guy. So Triple H has his guys, his favorites that he only goes with and says is those guys, and he will not look at other guys. It could be all his talent right beside you. And Vince McMahon would swerve sometimes. You know he did his thing, but he would swerve. He would say, you know what, this is best for business. This is money. Triple H doesn't play that game because TKO doesn't care about the company. I don't even think they know about the company really.
Triple H and Tony Khan are the same individuals. Just one's a bodybuilder, one's a former in-ring worker, and one isn't. They think the same. They want the affection, they want the love, they want the credibility. They can't handle criticism. They both don't know how to readjust. They're literally, we have. You got to look at it. Eric Bischoff and Vince were the same. Let's rip each other's throats out and laugh about it in 20 years.
Yep.
These two are, which they did. These two are, well, I just want to make sure I'm emotionally safe so we could be safe. You're in the television business, my man. Ain't no safe spaces.
Amen.
Either you get down or you lay down. That's my logic. Since you want to get in this office, well, how many people you willing to hang in this office to get the spot? I came up in the realm of media where when we walked through the lobby, I didn't know if I could trust the motherfucker I was in the elevator with, because the scoops was moving, the money was moving, this, that, and the other. So you looking in the elevator like, damn, this motherfucker, he got favorite nations in his contract like I do too. So to me, not to take it in that direction, but to me, there's no more animal. The wrestlers ain't got no animal in them. No one's fighting for a spot. They're fighting for approval. If I'm there, I'm fighting for a spot. I don't give a fuck about what he's doing. What's this? Yo, did you do that fucking 360 splash? Now I can't do this. I got to find ways to do everything completely different. Did you walk through the door dressed like that? I make sure I don't even shop near that store he was at to make my ring gear. That's the nigga who made your ring gear. That's the bitch who made your ring gear. Pardon me. Let me go somewhere else and go get some business done, because obviously everybody kind of looks the same also. So you're kind of seeing consistently of the same thing over and over again. Everybody has the same physical build. Everybody has the same tits, the same asses, the same music. Everything's the same. There's no organicness of individuality. So it's not that Raw is necessarily boring. The formula hasn't changed. The issue is what we're looking at in the ring is all the same. No matter, even if you're looking at product. You got your product. And what you got to remember, if you look at, just take it back, and I'm sorry to be long-winded, just take it back to 1998. Steve Austin didn't look like Brett. Brett didn't look like the whole Hart Foundation. The Nation had 5 black men in there. They didn't look alike. You get what I'm saying? You had so many people, everybody looked individually different. And somewhere around 2007, 2008, they began this farming system that they created where, and everybody is great. Let me say this first. Everybody is great wrestlers. They all know the moves. They all know the mechanics. They all know it. The problem is ring awareness that they suffer from. And the other issue is you all look alike. You know what I'm saying? So how do it's like a joke we got here in New York. How can New York win a championship? I'm not a sports person like that, but how can New York win a championship when every time I turn around, there's a new motherfucker in the locker room? But how can I win a championship if I'm a clone? And my analysis to this that I explained to be, I just explained this doing a consulting job for this for this property that we're working on. And I said to them, here's the problem. The reason why your superhero movies are not getting over is the Michael Jordan effect. When Michael Jordan was out, everybody was like, shit, this is Jordan. Right now in the NBA, we have 620 Michael Jordans. Everybody can do the twirl. Everybody can stick their tongue out. Everybody got a sneaker deal. So if everybody looks the same on the NBA court, of course, the numbers are going to drop because you have 620 Michael Jordans. So now we have a roster of 225 Steve Austins and The Rocks, which goes to the LA Knight situation. It's not that LA Knight is not over. We've seen that before. It's literally Steve Austin and The Rock put together. And he admitted.
Yeah.
I was going to say, that's kind of how I feel. I know we talk about Braun Breaker and him being over and all. That's kind of how I feel about Braun Breaker and like Cody Rhodes. I talked to them before. Like they're kind of Cody is a combination of a whole bunch of people with his dad, like even his promos and all of that. And then like Braun Breaker is doing the whole.
And shout out to Cody for
Steiner
reporting
thing.
my channel. Appreciate you for that Dusty
man.
video.
Oh,
Appreciate you.
no,
Oh,
not
man.
Cody.
Yeah, I gotta
believe
always
that.
take a jab at that.
You said Cody Raheem Rhodes, that guy?
Yeah, that
Man,
coon ass
nah.
nigga. Yeah, it's
They
him.
keep trying to push that. They keep trying to push that Raheem bullshit. I'm not subscribing to that shit.
WWE will
Bye.
print that on a shirt if they can legally
They
get
will.
away with it.
They will. But let's flip the page real quick, y'all. Let's get to SmackDown. We had SmackDown this week. So let's go around the room again. Start with you again, Deitrich, since you're the guest. What was your highs and lows of this week's SmackDown? What was your letter grade, bro?
Again, I'm giving it double Z because it was worse than Raw. That shit was and I'm not even being funny. There is you just put John Cena and R-Truth on the screen. R-Truth, we fought for nothing. And that's not R-Truth's fault. This is Triple H doesn't know how to market and sell someone black. That's just number one. Triple H only knows how to market and sell his emotions. The promo against Brock Lesnar is trash. Cody shouldn't even have the championship at this moment in time. It should be when you saw Brock come out, you realize Brock on SummerSlam, you realize on SmackDown, Brock should be the one possibly dethroning John Cena for the championship. That you got to think of Vince McMahon's formula was the person has to fight adversity. There's no more adversity for Cody at this moment. So yeah, you got Brock Lesnar who returns, but Brock looks good fighting for a championship, just not aimlessly moving around. You know what I'm saying? You have a premier talent who has the biggest contract in the company. He was able to come back whenever he wanted. The lawsuit shit was a farce, which we always talking about. The nigga received a text message from a dirty bitch. Who gives a fuck about that? I get 4 of those a day. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, like we're up, people are uproar when you really learn and you read the conversation from him being deposed. You learn it was just a text message.
Yep.
So you have this element. Also, SmackDown has another big issue that it looks pretty and it looks clean, but I don't feel as if we actually saw anything move forward or anything call back to us needing to move forward. Nope. So SmackDown was kind of lost in translation. That's my personal opinion. So I can't. It wasn't a good show, and that was one of this. And I took a week off from going live. I'll go back live next Friday just to give myself a break. I sat down and I watched SmackDown twice on purpose. And after watching it twice, because to me, it's my job to process what's happening in media and television. So I can sit down and just, watch the show and not watch it emotionally. So if I'm over at the USA Network, first thing I'm saying is in 2029, send this shit over to Disney. Y'all go rent this shit for the week. You can have it, because now we have to acclimate our people out of this live sports market that we're obviously suffering in. That's all the reason why USA Network kept them. But I knew that this was going to end up on ESPN because that was talked about years ago. So I think they're just getting the show along because they happen to have 2 shows. If they should have never, that SmackDown is no longer needed at this point.
Facts.
In my personal opinion, unless you hybrid SmackDown and you move all the NXT kids over there and use that to grow them, to move them over to the big boy, which is now Netflix.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you're going to hybrid, it's time to hybrid. Use SmackDown as the hybrid show to, half the guys who we think can make it to Monday Night Raw, let's use SmackDown. And this is just Deitrich's perspective, my perspective. Let's use SmackDown to see who actually nuts can hang on live television. And if your ovaries can't hold the baby, if your nuts can't reproduce, let's get you the fuck out of here and you go find work elsewhere. There's OnlyFans for some of you motherfuckers, and there's AEW for the rest of you niggas. You get what I'm saying? So let's get to work.
Yes, sir.
I'm very ruthless when it comes to the business of and it's because I lived it. So to me, there's no more. It's not that I'm cold with it. I understand it's a machine. So if you get in your car and that motherfucker act funny. Everybody had a car where that kid did that shit, and you're like, oh, what the fuck? That's the worst moment in the world. Something has to be changed. And right now, the engine is starting, but the bitch ain't turning over to get you to the next street. Just to say, hypothetically.
And I agree. I never even thought about it that way as far as using SmackDown like that hybrid show, like you said. Kind of like I think what AEW does with, what is it, Collision on Saturday, supposedly. I don't know if they... I
haven't watched Collision in a while, to be honest. Respectfully, I haven't watched it.
I'm not an AEW guy, but I understand what they were trying to do. But yeah, I think SmackDown will be a good idea for that. But Queen, let me get to you real quick. What's your highs and lows of this week's SmackDown? What was your overall letter grade?
So I'm going to get into it quick because I just realized that I thought that SmackDown was Raw because they all kind of just ran together this week. So I actually changed my earlier statement to an F and this one to an F. Because I literally just went back and read it and I was like, I just mooshed both the episodes together. So that just tells you just how just blah they were. Like literally they're just setting up for Paris now. I don't care. Logan Paul don't care. I'm glad Canelo got like a little, like Mr. Hayes got a little camera time because we even forgot that nigga had a job over there. Like I'm glad he got a second over there. But other than that, yeah, this week as far as with the Monday and the Friday shows were absolute garbage. So yeah, it just gets an F. And yeah, we fought for our truth. And I know that they keep saying they're gonna do like a split personality thing. No, I just want the Ron Killings thing that we built up. Can we just do that? And that's all I gotta say.
And they can still save that.
Yep.
They can still salvage that. They're 3 months. Another 2 months, they won't be able to.
I don't know if it's about Paul though, man. Will Paul do it? But Travis, what is your overall? Yeah. What's your highs and lows? I'm sorry, it's SmackDown. What's your overall letter grade for the show?
SmackDown's another D this week. Pause. SmackDown sucked this week. Like I don't understand the whole truth and John Cena thing. Like this, you basically made John a good guy again, which I was remember last week when he was talking about being alone and all that stuff. So that's why I was pushing so hard for The Rock to come back during SummerSlam. So that way it builds up some type of a story. Then if I just him linking up with R-Truth, you could kind of build them together, kind of put him and then with Rock and Cody, and you can make some type of match with that, or even bring in another guy if The Rock wasn't either going to wrestle. But another D.
He said, but another D. I understand. A D. All right, so BA, you gonna save the show?
Absolutely not. I'm gonna shout out to Deitrich. This gets a double F, man, for me. I'm gonna have to go ahead on with that moving forward if I gotta do the double failures. And the reason why is simply because this whole thing was like I felt like half the portion of the show was a tribute to the fans. We was in Canada, so let's bring out Sami Zayn. I don't. He's on Raw. Why is he even here? Like, what is he doing?
Yes, so, I was so confused. I was so confused.
Why is he beating a U.S. champion?
Because they need to represent the Muslim community. They had to represent that Muslim community.
That's right, because he's Syrian. Yep.
So whenever you see Sami Zayn, the Muslim community is being represented.
Yeah, but they killing. Yeah, they
are heavy in the Muslim community.
They're not.
That's what, at least Solo for the title.
Yeah, like Solo. Can Solo win a match? His title reign, they're gonna say that's trash next because they making it trash. Go ahead, B. I'm sorry.
Shout out to what Clean was alluded to earlier. Why was Chelsea Gray here? Where the hell is Chelsea Gray at? I thought she was on Raw too. Now she's on SmackDown. I saw her on NXT the other day. She's all over the place. And on top of that, once again, I got a double dose pause of Alexa and Charlotte. That's too much. This whole birthday cake thing and all that. I didn't need that, guys. It was just too much. That could have been a 30-second segment behind the stage and keep it moving.
Yes.
So, once again, there's other tags that you can put in that place or whatever the case. You can do other things other than what I just saw. So Cena and all that. So Travis alluded to that. Okay, you was talking about Brock. Where is Brock? If you're going to say Brock is back and Brock showed himself and all that, then I would like to see Brock show his face. They don't even plan enough to have him have a segment, and they could just put it on the Jumbotron, and then that was his response.
Well, we must remember we must remember Brock's contract. It's $150,000 per live show, $450,000 per pay-per-view. Can you afford to have Brock?
You should have
52 weeks in a row.
Deitrich, you shouldn't have had him 52 weeks in a row. But you should have been prepared to pay for the night for SmackDown when you had
the next night. That was it.
That's the difference between Vince and well, I'll save that for your TKO conversation. But that's the difference between Vince and Triple H, because Vince, that was his money.
Yeah,
Triple H is playing with the house money now. That's a different type of gambler. You get your clothes taken. You walking back home from Vegas. You get what I'm saying? Wherever you are, they got the pink slip to your house, your car, your wife is leaving. You get what I'm saying? It's a different game now. So if I'm Vince, if I'm here like, yo, it's 150 per appearance, yo, get that motherfucker on the show. I need these ratings up because I have to sell this show to the next licensing agreement for another 3.5 years. I'm always thinking, what's the next 3.5 years? What is the high school cycle, the college cycle to sell this show when we're done on the USA Network? I have to get Disney to understand that you want to stream this on ESPN, a part of your $30 package.
And a part of the pricing thing is as well as the fact that if you knew that announcement was going to come out eventually, and it came out, your next show, I don't care if you got to alter things. You have to sell that show. That show was supposed to be instead of these Fs and all these other, it's supposed to have been A's and B's, because that would have been the first show after the announcement of the ESPN deal. So people have been like, "Oh, that's what I'm getting." Oh, okay, yeah, bet. All right, y'all got me in a sense, right? But you see this, you're like, well, damn, everything I was saying before is correct.
And if you wanted to really reinforce Brock, you know what I would have had? Sorry, someone just sent me a text message, and then let the joke run through the whole audience like he's getting another dirty message from a chick. You know what I'm saying? Like I would have just spit in everybody's face. That's
you got to work it. It's just like with all the bad stuff with like Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels and all that shit. They had to put it in the ring because everybody already knew about it.
The next night, didn't Shawn Michaels come out there with the fake Bret Hart music?
Yeah,
the guy came out. They played and said, "Hey, you know what? That's what you're supposed to do." But I think for some reason, Paul wants to do the little dopamine effect where
Paul pussy. Paul
he plays what you give you trash stuff, and he says, "I'm gonna give you one good show out of nowhere, so pull them back, so they can sit here for like 5 months and wait for the next one or whatever like that." Like, I don't know, but go ahead, B. I'm sorry.
And I'm gonna wrap it up, pause by saying, we talked about this and we, like I said, we did everything that we could, I guess, in our power to promote the Ron Killings crew, because we saw that photo and we thought Carmelo was going to get a bump and all these other things. And so you have this segment with Ron Killings with John Cena, and he goes right back to R-Truth, the happy-go-lucky guy. And I hope Deitrich is right. I hope they can still salvage this, but it's not going into that direction. And secondly, you saw Carmelo like, okay, he about to get a U.S. title. That's what he said. Like, I'm going to see if I can get a U.S. title shot. And then you bring the Miz back.
This is the guy who lost 6 weeks in a row to Aleister Black. What are we talking?
Whenever they bring the Miz up, that's when they're not trying. I'm so sorry, Miz, but whenever he shows up, it's like they're not even trying. They just call him.
Right, but you're attaching Carmelo back to this failureness, and I don't. He need. That's a leech. He's a leech now. Like don't leech on Carmelo.
And especially too, they did Ron Killings did the little promo with him and the other dudes, and I was hoping something would come from that, and now it's just been like, it's just nothing. Like it was just a teaser to nothing.
And last but not least, where was the Street Profits? Just I could have used a segment of them some kind of way. They was just they wasn't even on the show at all. So
nope.
It was bad, man. It's just you just get like a bad feeling after that. So luckily I'm not watching it for business purposes. It's like DJ, so he could watch it twice. I wouldn't dare watch this shit twice. So there you go.
I'm programmed to like consume media all the time, so to me it's like, all right, it's a struggle, but I'm programmed to go through it. Like, okay, let me watch this again.
So we got triple Z's. We got Queen. You gave it a D or an F? Did she give it a D?
I think she gave 2 Fs. She had to go back.
It was an F. I had to alter my original grade.
That's right. Okay, Travis gave it a D.
Paul.
And then BA gave it 2 Fs. I'm gonna give it an F as well. I don't know, man. Well, like I said, R-Truth, I'm hearing. So I've heard rumors. I don't know how true this is, or Deitrich, if you heard anything about this. I've heard they're trying to do a split personality gimmick with R-Truth, where he's going to be Ron Killen sometimes and R-Truth now. I don't know why. Yeah, but allegedly they're going to like go harder now because this is going to be the introduction of R-Truth back now. So officially,
it's nice way Triple H saying niggas ain't got their mind right.
Basically, yep, he's used John Cena as a stepping stone for Ron Killings. Ron Killings kind of made John Cena relevant doing his heel turn, and then he used him as a stepping stone to like do it again and say, "Hey, take your gimmick and just run wild. We don't care about R-Truth." But that's one thing with R-Truth. With Carmelo Hayes, I'm hearing that he's about to have a face turn. I'm hearing that they're about to push with that.
Him and
Miz's job is to turn him over.
Him and Flips Williams did the best work as tag team partners over at NXT. It's funny though. You would think Shawn Michaels, the Texan, would be the racist one, and Triple H would be the liberal one. But we're learning Shawn Michaels is the liberal one, and Triple H is the racist. Now, I don't want to say racist, but doesn't see color. Except for a darker shade of gray, which he see niggas in. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't see color, you see a darker shade of gray, nigga.
That's why NXT is so popular, is because they actually highlight us, like Oba, Trick, and all them. Like, come on, like
Trick Williams is one of the most over wrestlers in wrestling. Trick Williams is one of the most over wrestling in wrestling, and they will not bring him up. They keep making him like.
Know how Trick Williams got to that? Because Carmelo Hayes was by his side, and Carmelo carried Trick Williams to that level. Let's not forget that's Carmelo's work on Trick Williams. Trick Williams by himself is dope, but Carmelo and Trick, when they were tag teams, they were the biggest tag team in wrestling at that point.
And I feel like when Trick does eventually come up after all of this that he's done, on the lower level, they're gonna like tag him on Carmelo or something.
But Carmelo is also a Shawn Michaels pick and also one of the last picks of Vince McMahon. Let's not get that twisted. So anything that's the last pick of McMahon,
they're out of there.
Sean ain't fucking with. I mean, Triple H ain't fucking with.
Travis, what was those highs and lows presented us by?
By the good people of Fanatics.
This I Was Told segment is brought to you by the folks over at Fanatics. Fanatics is the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and players you love the most, including WWE. You can earn fan cash to redeem them in your orders, jersey protection for when your favorite player is traded or changes teams. They also have an unrivaled selection of authentic fan gear and Fanatics exclusives that are only available on the site. So if you need some merch and are interested in helping the channel, scan the QR code on the screen or follow the link, which is always in the description. If you're looking to buy one of those new Roman Reigns belts, make sure to use our Fanatic link and go buy it through us and help the channel, y'all. But let's get to the wrestling tea. All right, y'all. So first up, the folks don't know, Roman Reigns was on ESPN recently. First Take, I believe, defending WWE's move to ESPN. And he says it's huge for our fan base. This $29.99 app that you may have to buy if you do not have ESPN on cable, because a lot of folks do not have cable anymore. So I'll just go across the room real quick. We'll keep it quick. Deitrich, I'll start with you again, bro. What do you think about this whole ESPN WWE partnership and, just having to have multiple apps to watch wrestling now?
This ain't a quick answer. I did a video talking about how WWE was purchased by Silver Lake. And there is no more Endeavor. There's Silver Lake. So I want you guys to remember when they purchased, I'm just going to say it. When Silver Lake purchased Endeavor and got rid of Endeavor, is now WME. They purchased it for $24 billion. TKO and Endeavor was only worth $21 billion. That used to be the former William Morris agency, which we used to use here in New York to hire actors and directors and blah, 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 blah. So when they purchased, they over-purchased because of the evaluation of the $21 billion. So they came up with a $25 billion price tag after Endeavor was created. And I'm going to go, the reason why this $29.99 price is that exact number. When that deal was done, Silver Lake 30 days later was negotiating to buy WWE, TKO, UFC. So this was a flip the whole time, right? So now with that happening, Silver Lake, I don't know if you guys understand, they own everything. I don't think you understand. They own 500 of the biggest money-making companies in the world. So if you've made over 10 billion, they're at your doorstep saying we got more. So when they purchased Endeavor for 25 billion, that left over a $3.7 billion debt. $3.4 billion debt, because WWE has $467 million in cash on hand. Put that to the side. That means no, never mind. But there's a $3 billion debt. So if you break out your trusty calculator, right, and you break out your calculators and you take $15, all right, $15, and you times that by 20 million customers.
All right, slow that down. Said 20 million.
20 million times 15. Come on.
20. Let me do the math right. $15 times, if I'm correct, that would be 100 million subscribers.
It's 300 million
times 100 million, right? You should be at 1.5 billion.
So 15 times 20 million.
No, not 20 million, 100 million. I'm sorry, 100 million subscribers.
Yes, you're at 150.
You're at 1.5 billion, right?
1.5, yes.
Times that by 3 years, and you at 4.5 billion, and you just got your deficit over with, and you made your profit.
Facts.
And now you erased the $3.4 billion debt, and you came up $1 billion, and now you're operating consistently in the green. That's the formula. That's entertainment math right there.
Just to get out of the debt that they put themselves in.
Yeah.
So to them, Roman is going to say, I think $29.99 is great, because if you have a cable partner, if we were selling it for $10 and we were doing the network ourselves for $10, we're getting the whole $10. If we're dealing with Peacock can keep the other PLEs. We're just going to move the big four, which we're going to change all the 2 nights in a row. That 2 nights in a row gives ESPN they live sports, they live combat, they live information, all of that going down. You get what I'm saying? So if you do that math, that's that $1.4 billion. That's that $1.5 billion a year times 3 years. We made our money back.
Yep,
ESPN gets their money off the top. They get their $15 per subscription-based system. Oh, we're coming into your city. We're going to get a $4 billion credit to come into your city. We're going to get a $6 million bid to come into your city. So it's costing us nothing to pay the unions, nothing to turn the lights on, nothing to bring the staff there. Oh, and then we're going to charge $30,000 to $40,000 a ticket, because when I try to get press tickets, the reason why I started the GoFundMe, because it was $15,000 a press ticket, and you had to buy 2, and that was upper barrel. That wasn't front row. That wasn't on the ground.
Bro, that's ridiculous.
People I know spent $42,000 for 1 ticket, bought 3 with his company's money. So it's not about us no more. So that they know that we can't make it to the shows. So now at $29.99 a pop, when the average person is getting rid of cable, if you're watching wrestling for $33 plus tax, right? Then you add on Netflix, which is just for some people $24, so that's $50. Then you still got Peacock, which is $15. We're now at $65. You get what I'm saying? So $70. So on and so on. So if you happen to keep Celestial Television as something as cable, we'll give it to you for free. Who cares? Because your cable package is probably already at minimum $100, and you don't even have every channel.
Yep.
And if they're smart, and if I'm now, let me become the machine for a second. And I'm sorry to be long-winded.
No, go ahead.
If you're smart. If I'm in that office, the first thing I'm going to go, because that's Viacom, I know how they think. Well, not really, but again, in a sense, ESPN, so I know how they think. The first thing it's a piece of a Viacom. The first thing I'm going to say is, remove that package from the cable networks and force everybody to pay that $29.99. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to do it.
People going to do it. Yep.
Oh, yeah, and you want VPNs? How much you want to bet that ESPN and Disney owns a percentage of NordVPN? So it ain't going to kill me if you go spend $15 or $20 on a VPN. to go watch it on Netflix, you still have to pay for Netflix. So I'm going to win across the board. The VPN trick is the greatest joke, because now, you know how many companies are going to watch WWE market a VPN by December. You're going to mark today. What's today's date?
Yeah,
August 10th?
August 10th. Yeah.
Watch WWE market a VPN by December. And that's going to be them telling you how to do it. And then you're going to say too many advertisements, but you're going to get that VPN so you can go watch them on Netflix, so you can turn your shit over to international and call it a day. And you know what they're going to do? Netflix, which is already in the talks, introduce an international unlocked VPN package with your Netflix for $34.99 a month. So you go right ahead and play the VPN game. They're going to win. Let me give you a piece of information. You guys remember bootlegs back in the day?
Yep.
The film studios would drop the bootlegs.
Yep.
They would not the screeners. They would have someone record it on the screen, bootleg it, and put it on the streets. You know how they did that? Because then they would get the reviews. And then there used to be a company called the White Mountain out in Germany. It's called Pirate Bay. And they would put all your movies up there, and they would open up something called the comment section. It was the first time it was ever created. And people were writing reviews. And before your movie was done, you knew what to edit, what to take out, what to put in, because we already gave it to you a month ahead of time, and we got to sit back and go, we can edit this in 25 days. We can readjust the film in 25 days. Everything is a controlled element. No, I don't give a fuck if I'm giving up the secrets. I'm telling you straight facts. All of this is a controlled element. And watch WWE start marketing a VPN. I guarantee you. Why? Because Silver Lake, and I want you guys to understand the monstrosity of what Silver Lake is. They own Dell. They own the Ant Group. They own Klarna. They own, and I'm just going to give you just a few so you can understand the machine that they are. They own Klarna. They own the city football groups. They own Equinox. They own Group BC, which is something you should learn into. Image Learning, which designs half of your CGI out there. They own Rack. They own Red Ventures. I'm mentioning certain companies on purpose. They own ZPG, WP Engine, WWE, UFC. What does that all come with? Credit cards. So if WWE is the biggest crediting system in the world, because if you go buy a t-shirt, what do you have to buy it with? Your credit card, your Cash App, your debit card. All of these companies are 100% have access to banking into it in institutions. So WWE has become a banking institution, and because they have the largest amount of credit cards on deck. And that's just to think about it. So, and all of these companies were taken private once Silver Lake bought them. So you gotta remember, this is not a mistake. You know what else Silver Lake owns? 7 of the 8 VPNs that are on the market.
Saying that's how they're gonna get $3 billion of debt.
You're watching WWE. That $3 billion ain't nothing to every company. That you got to operate in debt. But think about it. If you're watching WWE Unreal and you saw the Dell monitors, how many people said, "Damn, I need a reference monitor like that"? Apple's is too much. Let me go get that one. Everything is done specifically for a reason. So when you understand that, and then you got to remember the biggest thing that they own is global payments, which was created by Elon Musk, which was the framework when Elon Musk created PayPal and then sold PayPal. And then they split that to global payments, which is the processing system. So every company they own has a financial institution that quarterbacks someone having a credit card listing.
Big business, man.
That's all it's about. So when I see $29.99, I did the math. I said $15 on 100, this, that, and the other, 1.5 billion. Boom, boom, boom. 3 years, 4.5. They're out of debt in 3 years. But it's an imaginary debt. But they overpaid on purpose to lock down WWE because who has the biggest international fan base in the world?
Yeah, besides Disney, them.
Right.
That's it. Disney the only one higher.
So now if you're smart, okay, you guys can keep those. We don't want the regular PLEs. Let's keep that on Peacock.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do business with WWE on this front. We'll wait for USA Network to get tired, and then we'll bring SmackDown over to ESPN on Fridays and call it a fucking day. That's just how it's working. It was either them on Amazon. But Disney wants that appeal. They want that theme park section.
Yeah,
you want
and
to
they want
sell
an
belts
adult
to Disney.
market. I've noticed they want to change completely to an adult market. That was with that Star Wars and Marvel and all that.
Well, you got to remember, Disney always had a adult market. That was called Touchstone Pictures. Their first rated R film was Judge Dredd with Stallone.
Yep.
So you got to remember, these dudes were always producing rated R products. You know what I'm saying?
They don't want to hide. They're not hiding as much behind it.
No, not at all.
What it is. Now Disney doesn't care. They like out with it. They're like, yeah, kids, adults, we want all your money.
Right, because
we want your money too.
Right, because if you got something for the kids to do, you got something for the adults to do. If you don't believe me, go to Disney World. Any of y'all been to Disney World?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Did they sell beer?
That's on the Universal.
Yep.
They sold beer, right?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
They was always in the adult market.
Yeah, so there's
I've never been to Disney World, but I know if there's a beer there, Chuck E. Cheese sells beer too. You want to know why?
Yeah,
they got to keep the adults drunk to keep the kids in the building. Let them do whatever the fuck they want. And this, that, and the other. So if the company sells beer, that's it. If Disney sells hard liquor at a restaurant, they are in the adult market.
Facts.
Disney World, my cousins and them live across the street from Disneyland, and it's across the street from the hood in Los Angeles.
I never been to Disneyland.
Yeah, Disney World. Yeah, because it's Disney World and Disneyland, right? Yeah. So Disneyland is no different. It's right across the street from the hood in LA. They selling liquor and beer up in there. So what are we talking about? I get myself a 40 and a fucking shot of vodka. Let's go. There's Henny in there. Yeah, let's get it popping. So you got to understand, you want to intoxicate people to make more money, to spend more money. So right now, for some people, I've been on Reddit for the last couple of weeks, and I purposely didn't make a video about this because I liked a week or two of information to go by. Now we got people saying, well, $29.99 is really good. It's really good for 5 pay-per-views.
They start changing their opinions quickly.
Because they've already started negotiating their wallet. They've already started negotiating their wallet and how they want to go. So I'm sorry to be long-winded. There was no short answer to that. But if you guys get a chance, go look into Silver Lake and go look what they own, and then look at every piece of it. This is not wrestling. This is not wrestling. This is corporate. This is a corporate entity.
You gave us a lot of good information. I didn't even know.
Yeah. Just Silver Lake is one of those. I'll send you a link to Silver Lake. You just go look at their portfolio, and then you look at exactly what those companies own. So when you see Endeavor Holdings, you gotta remember WWE, when they merged with TKO, they were a holdings group, which means that's a hedge fund.
Yep.
That's a hedge fund now. So now when they changed it, it's still Endeavor, but it's turning to WME. Do you notice WWE won't say Endeavor no more? But they won't say WME, but it's a private company with a publicly traded section.
Facts.
I'm just breaking it down raw, like exact to the T. I like my information to be exact. So when you go research it, you go, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you just got to value it. Sorry about that. No,
you're good. You're good. BA. I know you wanted to say something.
How the hell am I supposed to respond after all that? No,
I thought you looked like you cared about.
It's all good for the average consumer. And I guess this is where I go at with. If you're telling me, and this is why people are starting to buy into it, because they start saying, well, if you have cable, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Well, people do still have cable out there. I don't, but people do. When people say, if you got a Disney package. If you got the Disney package with the Hulu and the ESPN, you're good to go. A lot of people, especially if
it's an added $30 on top. It's an added $30 on top of your package
on Hulu.
Mm-hmm. It's an added $30 on top of your package.
It's added 30 plus whatever it is that you're paying.
Because you gotta remember, they're putting all of their big sport. You gotta remember, ESPN is negotiating for the Super Bowl now.
They are.
You put that on that package, you don't think 110 Americans go subscribe to that also?
You have to have Peacock. You got to have Netflix. and you got to have ESPN.
Or when they promote their VPN, go get yourself a VPN and watch it in one place. You know what I'm saying? Because they will market it. But again, and it's just one of those things we have to realize. There was a time I was sitting in the office, and I'm going to go back to 2008. And I'm sitting in the office, right? And I sat down. No, 2007. I sat down and I said, what the fuck is this? They said it's called Crackle. It was the first streaming service.
I had Crackle. I remember that.
So you know what I'm talking about. Remember, it was like, it just had like Ghostbusters and maybe 100 films up there. And I remember sitting in the office and I'm looking at this over at 1540 Broadway, and I'm looking and I go, holy shit. I said, can I watch this on my phone? So I'm sitting there now, my mind is exploding. And I go, holy shit. And Hulu was still brand new. But Hulu was free. You didn't have to pay nothing. And they tested Hulu with a show called, what's that singing show?
Glee.
With the high school kids. Glee. It was exclusively on Hulu at first. Hulu. Right. So I'm sitting there and I'm looking at Crackle. And then Netflix did something special when you ordered your DVD. While you was waiting for it, you had permission to watch your show. Mm-hmm. You could watch something. They had about 200 films. I remember I sat back and I said, yo, by 2030, 2035, Celestial Television will be over. So I remember I go to someone else and I say, yo, we got to go up in here and we do this. We need to do this. We need to do that, blah, blah, blah. And they're looking at me like, because I just blew the budget on something big. I'll tell you that behind the scenes. I just helped them acquire something massive. So I was like, yo, fuck movies. We could just stream everything. Deitrich, no one's going to sit in front of their computers. I said there's a whole generation of people jerking off in front of their fucking computers.
Yep, I was going to say, porn showed us we can do anything. It said you can market anything, you can sell anything.
Right, so I was like, do you guys understand this is what MySpace and shit was still popping? And I was like, look, you guys don't get it. This is that, blah, 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 blah. And they're all looking at me like I'm crazy. And I said, y'all watch and see. The whole market is going to be streaming. I said Celestial Television will be left for the middle of America, but for the rest of the world, where the internet is more powerful than a cable connection, this streaming shit is going to pick up. This is why you get a Sami Zayn who has to be on the shows, because all of the Inshallah niggas out there and the Mahakana, they don't give a fuck that he's from Yemen. They want to see their Muslim brothers and sisters out there. And wait till they get their first female Muslim wrestler. She will become the world champion. Yeah, so you have to think about it. So Triple H don't see color, but he damn sure see the culture religion. If you go break down WWE's YouTube page, they translate it in 3 languages only: Hindi, Arabic, and English. That tells me the 3 markets they're after. I'm telling you that's how they have their shit translated to Hindi, Arabic, and English. So that shows me the market they care about.
And what you saying that, let's segue to the next point, Deitrich. WWE, and basically what I should say in TKO, I should say in general.
Go WME. Let's call them.
There you go. WME. Are they propaganda for MAGA? And I say that because we already know Donald Trump, Hall of Famer, class of 2013. We see UFC planning to have an event. Donald Trump has vowed to host a UFC event at the White House. We have Dana White, who's always been in support of Mr. Trump. Buddy. The entire McMahon family, McMahon Helmsley entourage. Paul Levesque was just there recently talking about getting some job, and I think Linda McMahon is still in the cabinet. So with all that being said, guys, what do you guys think? Is WWE just a extension, or WME just an extension of MAGA?
You guys go first, because I don't want to long-winded.
I want to go first.
Okay. You guys go first.
Yeah, I get cut off a lot, so I'll go first. So when I saw this image and I sent it to the chat, I definitely felt like this is the epitome of what it's being displayed to me, because I feel like it's not even just the oversaturation of the stuff having to do with WWE. It's just the way that the whole White House Instagram has changed. Everything has changed in a model and way that is regarded towards combat fighting. I don't know if y'all have noticed that. So even the memes about the deportation were kind of like plays on that. Even like the stuff leading up to the Triple H going to the White House. And then, like you just said, with Dana White, them doing a performance there. Just the way that we see that WWE is set up as it is very, not just, I want to say, white supremacist in nature with how it is designed and was already designed prior to its current version of it. But the fact that everything is done to protect that image, everything done around it. Because at the end of the day, like, we know that they have their pockets over in the Middle East, like, heavily, and that's where they get a lot of their money. But at the end of the day, they know that their loyalty is still to here to the white people shareholders that line all their pockets as well at TKO, and like you just said, and all the other entities that have their money in their pockets in there as well. But it's also the culture of it being, and I was saying this as well to King the other day, is that the culture is very designed not just anti-people of color, but anti-woman, and that they want it to be like the Skulls Club, like at Harvard. They want it to be like a fraternity
Skull and
or a
Bones,
sorority. Yeah. Yes, like a Skull and Bones. They want it to be a fraternity over there, and that only certain people get to elevate and other people are pushed back down. But as I said, it is my hopes that we'll see a change in WWE. I don't know how likely that will be, because yes, we've seen like pushes of Naomi and some other folks over the past year, and that's been great and good. But everything else on the back burner, though, is telling a different story to me. Like, so we're seeing one thing in front of us, as you said, like on the YouTubes and stuff. But then if you go look at the newspapers and you look at the news and everything, you're finding out all the other deals going on in the back end. And so this actually, I'm going to segue back to the ESPN thing. Is that ESPN's market is to white men. Like, that's really who their market is and it has been for years.
All of television.
Yes, on all of television. They've tried to flip it and throw a few black faces over there over the years. And obviously there's more stories with that. So I'll just end that part there. But they're putting it over where I guess they feel like they'll be appreciated and they can do what they want more, as opposed to feeling more controlled because they're with their buddies, if that makes sense. So I feel like the ESPN deal makes entire sense why they would go there with them. And like you said, with the math makes sense too. The $29.99 thing blows me because at the end of the day, a lot of us, like BA was saying, I don't have cable that I use. So everything I do, I rely on streaming. So that's me having to get another streaming network or pirating or using a VPN, you know, like as mentioned, which is funny because that was supposed to be for the dark net. Like, and now they've made VPNs just a normal part of society, which again, that just tells you that they'll flip the rules for whoever they feel like it and make it apply to whoever they want them to apply to and criminalize the people that they want. But yeah, definitely giving MAGA vibes. And
way to stand on it.
Is she still speaking?
Oh, it must have cut me off right when I was saying that.
Oh,
I was saying,
like, wait a second.
My bad. I was saying, the last thing I said was that I look forward to the future, but
Yep, the future's now.
Good. Yep. So that's the end of my thing. Whoever else is next can go before it cuts me off again.
Okay. I don't know if somebody's next or not. I can't hear nobody, but I'm gonna go. So is this that? I guess the thing is, yes, it is a representation. I think they are starting to be one and the same, and it's just based off their and Queen alluded to it. It's the demographic. We are the minority in this demographic. We are the ones that's hoping that our representation just gets represented, not even represented to a great deal. That would be like icing on a cake. But we're just trying to get like, yo, can we get some love over here? So, and the problem is when you look at these crowds, I always go back to what's actually being put out there. These crowds are like 90% caucus. They are. And it's hard to get past it. It's hard to see past that. and that's all you see. That's who's chanting us, and hopefully some of those cocks will come over to our side and hopefully push some of our individuals like they did a little bit for Ron Killen. So that's just what it is. So it's like it's a necessary evil. It's you don't. At the end of the day, it's a consumer thing. You don't have to consume it, but if you do choose to consume it because you actually enjoy the sport of it or whatever it is that it represents, and you're trying to represent your people along the way, then that's just something. Unless they start to get blatant with it, I think then that's the sign of disrespect, and then you can't take the blatant disrespect. You can assume all you want to, but when it starts to get blatant and they're starting to make fools out of us on a regular basis, if not, back to back or whatever the case may be, that's when I think everybody should part ways at that point, at that particular point in time. But until they do that, in which they're too good into politics, they're too good, they're too PC. They won't do anything to I think demean us in that way, other than just
I guess
not
they
give us
stopped
the
the
time.
blackface. Remember, we don't do blackface anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, so other than them not giving us time, like Carmelo and those type of individuals, like where you been at? That's about all you're going to get. So, I guess the best thing to do is to do what we do now, to do what King with this program is doing, is calling out the bullshit that's along the way. We got to call it out every step of the way. So when people go back to look up certain shows, well, who said what? No, we was here and we were saying it. And we was calling it out. So yeah, come and join the train. It's a little late, but we still take tickets. It's all good.
Travis, I'm sorry, I was muted. You got anything you want to say, Travis?
No, I can't really say anything else. I mean, BA and Queen said it perfectly. Like it is an extension of it.
I mean,
Mike drop. That's all I can.
All right, CM Punk. We gotta so I think it is an extension of it. I want to go further than BA. I think shout out to Ron Killens for this. I think he said he was told by Jim Ross or Eva Pritchard that it was a white man's business. Both of them that it was a white man business or whatever like that. It's been a white man's business forever. We know this. We know. Shout out you, Deitrich, for your channel and all talking, calling out Andre the Giant. Shout out to BA talking about before on a different show, Carmelo Hayes winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Like, that's disrespectful as hell if you really know about the history. Hulk Hogan. We know who Hulk Hogan is. The business was built on him, on his back. Vince McMahon literally walked past Booker T and said, "What's up, my nigga?" And Booker T had to walk and just say, "Tell me you didn't say that." Like, it is what it is. I think it's always been that. It's the reason why I walked away for a second. And BA, you said that they aren't openly doing it. I'm actually feeling the opposite now. I'm feeling like before it used to be where people would always say, "Why don't you leave politics out of my such and such or such and such?" Nah, WWE doesn't leave politics out of it at all anymore. They are straight. We're happy. We want to do this. We represent this. We're going to go over here and do this. We're openly. What is it? Linda McMahon. This is no allegation. Wasn't it her group that was in charge of the people that went over to the Capitol or whatever and stormed the Capitol? I'm not mistaken or whatever. Wasn't that Linda McMahon's organization or whatever that did that? That happened. Nobody talks about that. When stuff happened, they wanted to put Hulk Hogan back on TV with the ease. It was like they were waiting for that. It was like, okay, we hate Hulk Hogan, but no, we don't. Here we are. We waiting for reasons to put him back on TV. It doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter what happens. They will make anybody other than a black person play a black person, be anybody else instead of them. They do not care about how we feel. R-Truth got brought back because of that whole uproar just to be for nothing to happen. I saw somebody recently made a post about R-Truth and Triple H don't know what he's doing, and R-Truth was still liking it. You feel me? Because it doesn't matter. He does not care what's going on. Triple H does not care about us. He tells the fans all the time he does not care what you say. He's worried about his bottom line. If you guys are going to buy the tickets, if you're going to buy the VPNs, if you're going to buy whatever, we're going to still show you Cody Rhodes the savior and make him Superman. So it is what it is. That's my personal opinion on it. Go ahead, Deitrich. The floor is yours.
So I'm 50-50 on that. Part of me goes, because if you, let's suppose you take a major corporation. 1 minute, it depends on who's in power. If you got a Democrat in power, you're going to donate to that. It's like McDonald's, right? McDonald's donated Democratic when Biden was in office. but they donated Republican this time because they'll get business deals with the beef companies. They'll get control of how things will get approved, the licensing rights, what they can push over, what they can't push over. So to me, it's 50-50. WWE, now that is WME, they have reached the point where their negotiating power now has reached political standings for the first time in history. So this is the first time they have moved into that landscape. Also, it doesn't matter if a Democratic president was sitting up there, they're going to stand side by side with that Democratic president because they want those approvals. They want to be told yes. So the goal is to defeat the concept of getting the word no said to you. So you fight in that framework. Also, when it comes to someone like Triple H, he's in a very unique position because he knows nobody wants the job of being the booker. It's fun being armchair booker and sitting in your house and saying, this is how I will book this, that, and the other. But he has a job almost impossibly nobody wants. And he also knows that TKO doesn't know that job. And he also knows WME don't know that job, and now Silver Lake don't know that job. So when everybody's sitting back saying Triple H is going to get fired, no, Triple H has positioned himself in the most unfireable position in the company because he knows they don't speak that language. So he's like the first slave master to come over and go and learn the language and go, I speak jive. Don't worry. And then he talks to the niggas talk to the crackers, and then he makes sure no one else learns the language. Right? Now, when you have that type of leverage for this temporary amount of time, that puts him next to people like Donald Trump, because they know Donald Trump comes with a financial, once again, institution of friends who want to invest. You gotta remember what Vince was doing. I mean, not Vince McMahon, Donald Trump comes with a bunch of friends that want to invest. So if his friends are the top 20 billionaires in the world and they're putting money up into this company, then yeah, you need them to stand next to the president of the United States. Triple H is a placeholder because any one of us could sit in that Triple H position and we would have been sitting at the White House in the name of the company. We've all gone to work when we didn't want to go to work. And that's one thing. When it comes to the black audience, I want me and a good associate of mine who we're about to put some work in later on today for the show, Mark Morrell, we talked about how wrestling was only a sovereign thing. And I think we forget how black professional wrestling has always been. We have been trained not to see ourselves in the audience. But if I go look up credit cards and I start looking up the purchases, I start learning that black people purchased 42.7% of WWE over the last 45 years. What are we talking? Which means we are the majority and the whites are the minority. And who do you cater to when you're making television? The minority. We're taught it's the majority, but it's the minority. Do you know why?
Majority rules, minority rights.
Right. So the minority, when you got soap operas, how many women were at home watching soap operas during the day while the men was at work at a certain point in America? So at the highest point in the 80s, when before the boom where even women had to go to work into the work field in the late 80s and the early 90s, what you had was a whole middle of America that watched Days of Our Lives, that watched Hispanic soap operas, who watched all of those shows. And then what followed up? The daytime talk shows, which was the other big boom. Do you notice there's no more daytime talk shows? Everybody's at work. And everybody's streaming on their device. So we don't even realize how much of the market that we are financially in control of because we have been trained not to see it. I've sat in the machine. I've been a part of the monstrosity. I've seen how it works. So if I say to niggas, damn, there's only 5 niggas in the room, but I just saw 600 niggas sitting in the room and 7 white people, like, damn, only 5 of us up in there. Because we're only taught to identify ourselves in television in our physical presence, but not look at the broad spectrum of thing. So when you got these guys leading up to sports, no one even realized there was not Deion Sanders, who was the guy who main evented WrestleMania 7 or 8?
Lawrence Taylor.
Lawrence Taylor was standing behind there, but no one's noticed that there was a black guy standing next to Trump. That's how programmed we are not to see ourselves. You get what I'm saying? So, and it's not something we did, it's something the television market did. So if you're consistently catering to the frail ego of America or the greater world, you don't even realize how they're playing in your face. That's why you may hear me say, I'm not here to let white people play in my face. Because if I go back and watch old Ric Flair matches, when they turned that camera, how many black people were sitting in that audience? It was probably out of 100 people, 40.
Yep.
But if I only camera pan to white people, you don't see it. So what you don't see is, this is how a production truck works in any sport. What you don't see, and this is how they get this great white dollar. You have your producer, and he goes, camera 22, this, that, and the other. Camera 33, this, cut the camera 4. Camera 7, this, that, and the other. There's a kid holding a sign, go to camera 19. Camera 28, go there, get the drone moving this way. So you don't see how they're consistently programming for you not to see yourself in that show. So when you go stand up next to President Trump, you look like you're doing the great white world's work, when Triple H has technically done nothing to even earn that spot. The dude with a fucking machine in his chest, the steroid user, the guy
telling you about fitness,
telling you about fitness, when the only thing he knows about fitness is when to shoot yourself up with a little bit of HGH. That nigga is standing next to Trump.
And Deitrich, that's why I said what I said, though, because I don't look at MAGA as political. Like, I understand they want to get their money with Democrats and Republicans. I understand the president is the president and people have their own opinion on that. Like, you still commander in chief. I got that. This is a cult.
You know why they're open to having a UFC match in the middle of the White House? Because they they already sell ticket tours to the White House. So why not do something else?
I feel you. I feel you, but it's
fucked up.
This is like, when you worry, it's just like no optics. Like, I feel like they should understand the audience, and even if the right call is to do nothing and then walk away and just say nothing. You feel me? Like, maybe say nothing and don't even do nothing. They don't care.
They know the audience. They know exactly who the audience is.
They know the ones that want to stay there and not care. That's going to yell back and say there's a reason why. That's always in the comments.
They know 100%. And also, there was something that Queen touched on Zen Q. I don't know which one to call you respectfully. So Zen, something that she touched on was about television programming and this, that, and the other about black people. I forgot the exact word she used, but it triggered a thought. When you go on to back in the day, when you went on BET or you went on MTV or you went on VH1, there was a screen that went on top and it told you what the programming was. Black men are not represented. So it was, we create certain type of programming for this, that, and the other of cultures with representation of black women. So the reason why no black men are on top in WWE, because television is not programmed to design for our skin complexions, only for one black woman at a time. Ask me what's in the WWE right now as champion.
One black woman at a time.
So when they're catering to one black woman,
there.
And that's why I was looking down at my phone, because I was trying to find that so I can send it to you so you could put it on the screen so people can learn. Like, programming is not made. We don't design programming around the hypersexual, hyper-aggressive black men. We do programming around the hypersexual, hyper-aggressive white male. So why would I give you what did Vince McMahon say? If I leave the Nation of Domination with Ahmed Johnson, they become unbeatable. You know why the Hurt Business had to take a step down? Because they become unbeatable. Because even he knew, when these blacks really get together, they're kind of unstoppable. So now, when you have programming where black programming is catered and decorated to making sure black women have representation, there's nothing wrong with black women having representation. But if you go watch the movie Alien, Rhea Ripley from Aliens is a bad motherfucker. But that black dude didn't make it the test of time, correct? Because of the hypersexuality. So now you got Naomi coming out there with the raspy cigarette voice, tooting her stomach back, ass perked up, belt around her waist, wearing grills while she's talking. jewelry on, coming crazy. We all love it because we're seeing a black woman. But what if I told you television was always designed to only represent the hypersexual black woman? White men want to fuck black women. They will
Triple H.
Oh, that's Triple H's favorite.
Triple H is not scared of the black woman. He's scared of the black man.
Right. So if you had to put a dominating, and the only reason why he's not scared of Rock, because Rock doesn't fit the complexion for disrespect.
Nor does he call himself black.
Right. Even though his daddy is one of the blackest coons in the world, but that's for another day. But long story short, so when you have this type of programming and then you get in front of the MAGA world, you start to look at how many black women are married to white men. Naomi married to a Austrian Asian
relation. Yep.
That probably said the N-word.
Her market moves over. You get what I'm saying? Right. So now she's moved over from the black audience, which means this is your acceptable black. Yeah. So that's another
you can't
part.
Get Bianca, who has a black husband, or Jade with the black husband. They gave.
Why would you represent strength? And Jade was never going to win that championship, regardless, because she's going to film a movie. That's a friend. It's a friend of mine. It's a friend of the show. She's going to film a movie at the end of August, so you can't put the world title on her, regardless, because the insurance policy of the films. Yeah. So once that insurance policy and that bond goes up, you can't throw yourself around. Roman got 2 more dates left before he go film Street Fighter.
So hold on, I'll ask you this, Deitrich. Let me ask you this: why does Cody Rhodes get to do it?
Cody Rhodes may be off for television as well.
They're supposedly saying they're not. From what I just saw recently, he said from every SmackDown from here on, he's still scheduled for.
Is he a John Cena
schedule on?
Is he a part of Street Fighter?
Street Fighter? Yes, he's Guile.
This is the worst casting of all time. Anyway,
I knew.
Guile, if you look at his measurements, is more like Brock Lesnar. But that's another conversation for another day. Brock Lesnar,
got Guile, super Cody
for hair color only.
But long story short, so if Cody is doing that, that tells me that the insurance bond that they might be using is Fredericks of Hollywood. And Fredericks of Hollywood is most likely got a separate bond for him to pull that off. That means if he gets injured, he pays the film studio.
Golly.
You get what I'm saying? So there's going to be certain loopholes that certain people can't get. And I'm pretty sure WWE is paying the Fredericks of Hollywood bond. That's the studio. That's the company. I'm pretty sure that they are they're probably using Fredericks. So that's a loophole. And to give you, so when you look at the Jade situation specifically, I think, and we got to remember, Jade is not going to film Street Fighter. She's going to film an independent film, the liberties are a little bit different. We don't know the Bond company. We don't know this. We just know she's going to be in an action film. So that doesn't mean that's not WWE back. Street Fighter has been backed by WWE because of Up, Up, Down, Down.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? So there's a market for putting this all together, for having them, which is always probably a pre-conversation. So insurance bonds is what's throwing the whole Jade thing off. But at the same time, Jade's representation is only in look and presentation only. They will always be about to put the world title on her. I don't think she sees a world title until WrestleMania. And I don't think they give her the Royal Rumble win, because Vince was behind getting black people down, because Vince knew how much black people spent money. So that you have a white purist in the seat where Vince was like, can I make money off of this girl? Where he even said, Bianca's my streak.
Yep.
As soon as Triple H got the helm, what did he get rid of? Her streak.
Yep.
So Vince saw something in her, and we all saw it too.
Vince sees green at the end of the day.
He's green, yeah. And I can sit in a room with a person who understands money, because then we understand what the formula. Okay, how do we get to this point where we're making this? WWE is no longer a profitable company. They are making money now, but they are not going to be a profitable company in the long run because of what they're doing right now.
I don't think AEW know how close they are, really, though. If they really wanted a person and they got the real, through money, the right person.
Let me tell you what I would do, and I'm screaming this to the top of the gills. I came up with this concept. WWE throws away New Orleans. You go to New Orleans. You say, I want the 2 WrestleMania nights. You go put your show on from 12 in the afternoon. You put your show on from 1 to 6
before WrestleMania. Yep.
And you wear the fans out. You say, okay, you're gonna give WWE $4 million. Give us 3. Give us a $500,000 tax break. We go in there, give away every fucking ticket in that building. If you are coming from if you booked your flight from around the world, we'll guarantee you 2 tickets. If you are a union worker in New Orleans, we guarantee you this. Give every ticket away. And you start that show at 12:30 and you end that show at 5:30 and you burn the WWE out 2 fucking nights in a row. You give away the show for free and you put it for free on the HBO app. Do not sell it. Go do business with New Japan and buy Wrestle Kingdom and call that shit Wrestle Kingdom because it has a beautiful name and has a lineage, and you give it away. If you don't believe my formula work, ask Eric Bischoff. He gave away 3 years worth of tickets. They never sold a ticket to WCW.
Yep.
And how full was those buildings?
Bro, and I don't think Triple H is the one to get him out of the hole. If
No.
they were to fall back in the hole, Triple H is not going to be able to do that.
Triple H is only good at making you a good entrance. He specializes in the presentation. After the entrance, I need you to go leave the building.
Facts, though, big fact.
After the entrance, leave the building. But if AEW did that type of count, see, I believe in the fight. So my thing is, I will bring some cocaine to Tony, like sniff all of this and listen to me. Sniff all of this and listen to me, nigga. I need and bring your father in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what we do. Because if you did that and you counter program WWE, not going up against them by burning the wrestling audience out, you fatigue them. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you do. You want to keep it really gangster? You put it live on TBS, commercial free, and go fucking crazy. For the people who don't have TBS, simulcast it like they do the regular shows, commercial free, 1:30 to 5:30. You bang them out 2 nights in a row, the biggest wrestling show, and watch they wear the fuck out of WWE. And you build your own t-shirt selling market. Because think about it, you know who else got screwed over? What's those guys who do the conventions over there? They got screwed over.
Comic-Con?
No, not Comic-Con, the wrestling shit.
I know what you're talking about. It just
with Conrad Thompson and them. Starcast. They said they rented out buildings and arenas. Bring them back. Here's this. We'll pay for your Starcast. We'll pay for this. Invite all of the podcasters from around the United States. Do a pod. We did it here in New York where we had Podcast Alley at one point, and then they got rid of it. And that was in 2010. We was marketing Podcast Alley before podcasting was huge. I've been doing this since the early days when podcasting was when it was only 1,000 shows. So I'm not new to this framework, right? So you invite the podcasters over. If they want to be press, have the biggest press junkets in the world, do this, that, and the other. Change the fucking game.
Yes, sir.
Change the game. You know what I'm saying? And you just go crazy. That's the only way you can combat them. And then you know what you're gonna have? Other states are gonna come to AEW and go, we want counter programming.
Yep.
They're going to want that, and they're going to need that. Sorry to be long-winded. I'm just saying, but that's how you compete with the MAGA audience, because how black is New Orleans?
Amen. You're right about that one. And
how many
AEW can...
How black is the South in general?
So AEW can take that all over. Like, WWE just stuck.
If you're a hospital worker, if you're a union worker, if you're around the United States, if you show proof that you're going to be there, we'll get you to we'll make sure you get in that building for free. They'll give away 60,000, 75,000 tickets in no time.
Yeah, because people will pay for the flight if they know they can go to something for free. Absolutely.
Right. So if you prove to me you got
the cheapest flight, just to make sure they can go.
If I'm running it and you prove to me you got the tickets, you got your flights, How many people you got? You got 4 tickets.
Yep.
Here, you got 4 flight tickets. Here's your 4 tickets. And if you resell them, we take you to court.
I feel you.
So that guarantee. So what you're gonna do is, how many people cannot afford to go to a wrestling show?
A lot of people.
So if I just gave you an opportunity, even if you live in New Orleans, you telling me 40,000 people from New Orleans ain't gonna take those free tickets?
They would feel it for free. They would absolutely feel it.
Then I'm going to all of the alcohol companies. Yeah, I'm going to all the alcohol. Yeah, I'm going away to all the alcohol companies, all of this. Use the YouTubers, the podcasters to give away all of these big tickets for
sponsor this, sponsor
right.
that, sponsor this, sponsor.
And you know how you market it? The biggest counter programming of the century. I would say the words. Yeah, we counter programming the biggest counter program of the century. Let's wear them out. That's it. That is it. Go around the world, find the best people, start putting that show together now. You want to do Mercedes? I mean, using Mercedes Moné as an example. You want to use Athena, a black woman, Mercedes Moné, a black woman. Let them main event that show on a Sunday night. They had the best wrestling match this year.
Facts.
Everybody, even if you didn't hear, even if you don't watch AEW, request it. And I'm not the biggest AEW fan, but I know how to punch someone right in their fucking dick. That's what I know how to do. I know how to emotionally break a business down. You know what I'm saying? You're talking to a person that when I showed up on film sets, a lot of people put their heads down. They're like, oh shit, this nigga's gonna fucking shift everything. Yeah, my job is to get this shit back on track. Yeah, that was me. Either I showed up, was like, oh, I got you your budget, or I showed up like, we got to fix shit. So as a person who understands the machine, you don't have, like, if you have, and I'm sorry to be long-winded, if you have black talent and you want to get a Carmelo Hayes over, you want to get R-Truth in them over, you ain't got a real nigga in the room. When your writing room is 25 white boys who ain't been fucked or been in a fight, they ain't. The woman they got is based off of them going to college. They didn't really go get her. You get what I'm saying? They really didn't have to fucking show that they had skills to communicate and talk. You know, half of them are jerking off behind their fucking computer desk. The other half are perverts because of the nature of the company. But you don't have someone going, this is how black people respond. I'm not talking about a diversity hire.
They don't have no black person on their roster that's actually telling them, hey, if you want to appeal to black people, this is where you should start. This is the talent you should use. These are the people that work well with the black talent. These are the people that have the best talking.
That's when they need a nigga.
Right.
But they don't have one.
And you need a nigga.
They get a Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, they need a nigga who is not scared to go up to H and go, we not doing that tonight.
Facts. And I don't know if H is ready for that.
I wanted to say that too.
I don't know if H, but I don't know if H is ready for that. That's what I'm saying before.
Yeah.
I don't think H will let another person. He do some conniving behind it. You know, Triple H was the mastermind behind the damn screw job and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, and I think Triple H is just intimidated by black men in general. I think he's not intimidated by black women in the same way, and I think he doesn't respect those white women. That's why
corporate America is not intimidated by black women.
There you go. Yep. Amen.
And I'm not saying black women are second-class citizens.
No, we know what you're saying exactly, bro. They just don't.
They're not intimidated by black men, by black women, because most black women are very ruthless and they would do what they got to do to move their career forward. So they're not scared of that type of ruthlessness. What they're scared of is a nigga getting in the room. And let me tell you how a corporate environment works. You get one black guy in the room, right? I've been a part of this. And all the white boys look at you and they turn back and they go, so what do you think? I think this is cool. See? Deitrich thinks it's cool. I just controlled the whole room. When one of them learns if Deitrich approves this, they're going to fall behind him. Then that becomes the problem. So I heard it was
he got this yes man. I heard Deitrich. He got a yes man behind him. That's a black guy, Triple H, that maybe isn't doing that. I heard. I think I saw on his show, whatever the guy.
The young man, the Ryan dude. Yeah, he was the one who was writing all of NXT when NXT was popping. Yeah, and then they moved him into a vice president position that tucked him away, which doesn't make him a part of the writing team. So that's when NXT fell off. Now we have Shawn Michaels in charge. The young man's name is Ryan something. I forget his name. I would have to go look at my channel to be honest with you. But the young man's name is Ryan something.
I remember you saying it. Go ahead, B.
Yeah, I you know me. I exposed his name. That's the one thing. I'm gonna put the information out there. There's a reason why.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm sorry. You guys go.
Okay, just real quick. It's just, when you brought that up and you brought up the fact that there's not enough, there's nobody of us in that particular behind the scenes like that. That is one thing on Unreal. I think they shown that they probably did not realize they showed. When I watched that whole series, and I know they was doing a lot of stuff just for fluff at the same time, there was nobody of color in those rooms.
So in order for you not to see color, you must have the representation of color for you to step aside for them to see color.
Facts.
That's just my personal. I'm trying to look up this young man's name because I want you guys to know his name, so it is brought up every so often because he's tucked away. Ryan Ward is his name.
Ryan Ward. Yep.
Ryan Ward. And it's very important that he's tucked away.
Yes. No, me and King looked up his channel before. And we were like, why should his channel have more followers? Yes. Yeah, that's crazy. Yes, Ryan
He's
Ward.
just tucked away, and now he's a vice president. I was a former vice president. Just because you're vice president don't mean you got power. Sometimes they'll give you enough power for you to be quiet.
Facts. Put you somewhere in the back somewhere, give you a title that they can put a new position.
Hey, you know what niggas are scared to do? I don't want to lose this job, Brody.
Yep. I'll take it. Whatever.
Right.
Yeah, you took it to a nigga who walked away from one of those. And I also want to bring this up. And I put this up on one of my live streams. In 2004, I was offered a WWE contract to wrestle. I'm 6 foot. I'm 300 pounds of muscle. I'm steroid free. And I remember the money that they offered me. And I remember I was told, well, this is good money for someone like you. And I said, dog, I'm making more than this at Universal Records right now. What are we talking? You're gonna give me? You're gonna
just say yes.
You're gonna offer me $500,000 for 3 years? I live in New York State. I'm gonna get taxed 48.9% after $400,000. So I'm gonna get broken down to $200,000. I have to make that work for 3 years, pay for my own hotel, food, travel, rental car, gym around the whole United States. I can make more money working at McDonald's. The drug dealers still have it figured out that the nigga on the corner has it figured out that the nigga at McDonald's make more money than they do. An hour. You get what I'm saying? It took them a lifetime to figure that shit out. So I'm going to trust a market of cracker-ass crackers who is going to tell me what I'm worth. Because if you offered me 5, I know I'm worth more.
Yep.
So come around with my 3-4 million. And still to this day, wrestlers, the wrestlers should really go on strike and sue for half the profits. You niggas make $9 billion a year. We need $4 billion.
4.5. Hell yeah.
And that should go to all the fucking talent. The NBA did it.
And if Tony Khan and Triple H listening to any of this information that Deitrich's giving to him, hopefully we'll be able to show their work.
Those niggas hear me. Ever since I started this channel, I had about 25 people on LinkedIn from WWE. Now there's over 100 LinkedIn people following me on WWE, and the requests keep coming in. Jeff Jarrett, you two, and all you niggas from AEW and all of them, and they're all subscribers to my channel. So I know that the market is listening. But are you listening to counter program, or are you listening to say, how do we make this different?
If they're listening to you, Deitrich, hopefully, man, I just hope that they watch us on get the playback.
Thank you to our friends over at Playback for this segment. Pause. If you're tired of the national media and the annoying ways they sometimes cover sports and other events, give the Glow Sun Production channel on Playback a try. We cover new and old school basketball, wrestling, and geek culture. And just recently, we've added boxing, mixed martial arts, anime, and even video gaming. So if you have time in your busy day, give our channel on Playback a look and check out some of our replays while you're at it. Another special shout out to our favorite at Playback. Back to the show.
All right, y'all. Shout out to Playback real quick.
What is Playback to be exact? That sounds stupid.
So it's where you can stream. We basically stream live shows, games like basketball games and stuff like that. And folks are able to come in there and watch them with us, like during the same time. So kind of like WWE. You know how you do like your watch alongs?
They have a deal with NBA League Pass, and they used to have a deal with wrestling. Like we used to watch wrestling through there too.
No, I don't have a deal with wrestling. They just had some.
So you was actually able to put the wrestling in the corner?
Yes, so they can watch it at the same time and have like a Discord. So like the way you do it on like YouTube and people just talk to you, they can actually sit there and watch the screen with you, WWE, and talking to them.
Oh, you know WWE ain't gonna have that no more.
No, they didn't have it. So the reason Playback was allowed to do it is because they would show it on like USA. They had a contract with like showing some of the cable channels. But
so
now we can't show the other
Patreon
stuff.
will allow you to play the video. No, Patreon stop that.
No. Hey, shout out to our Discord if you want to join our Discord and all. We show watch alongs in Discord every Raw, SmackDown, and PLE.
But
I might talk to you about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm at 6. So Patreon doesn't allow you to play the video back.
I don't think you can play WWE's.
I think you used to, but if it's licensed, I think.
Yeah, I don't think with licensed videos you can't do that with them because it'll be.
And everything on YouTube is a licensed video, right? Fair use is a very blurred line.
Fair use, so you can use YouTube.
You can't get so I can use YouTube on Playback if they put anything like when they did the AAA show. I did that on Playback, but I can't monetize it. If that makes sense, like I can't.
I'm okay with not monetizing long as motherfuckers make donations. Then it's cool.
Yes, then that's how you can do it. As far as if it's on YouTube, yes, Playback and all you can watch it on there. Like I said, I'll talk to you about it.
I've heard certain things. We'll have a conversation. But you guys, let me let your format keep going.
You good? Real quick, let's get to for the end of the show the questions and the comments. Like I said, at WTC, if you're interested in the question and comment, talking to either us or Deitrich, and let's get to them.
Sponsored by True Classic.
Always wanted to try True Classic, but hate shopping online? Keep watching. You've probably seen our ads online. Look, I get it. You're skeptical. I mean, is everything we sell really as soft and well-fitting as we say it is? If you need to try us before you buy us, True Classic now has stores nationwide. Visit one of these stores and you can fit, feel, and outfit a bunch of our customer favorites. So don't wait for shipping or worry about how much to spend. Visit one of our retail stores today and see the True Classic difference for yourself.
Hey, shout out to True Classics. We got a couple questions or a couple comments. We got Eric in the building. Shout out to bro. He says facts. I think he's talking about Trick and all of that. And Carmelo says Jeet as well. So they're missing more. That's crazy work. So I'm gonna swerve and hit the corner. Whoa. And shout out to Kevin as well in the house. Another member of We Talk Combats. He says Tony Cantana. That's his name.
Yeah, Eric was talking about when I was saying that they didn't have a lot of talent, that they have a lot of talent they're not using, so we keep seeing the same people. So he was saying they're missing more.
They don't care. Triple H has his favorites. He's gonna push them and let everybody work out. Somebody gonna become big in AEW. I'm telling you, somebody really gonna be in the ridge, leave and become big.
Yeah, Cody left and then came back here. Like he's
because Triple H wanted Cody. He loved him. They said Triple H was on that Unreal when I heard them say that Triple H was texting Cody and all while he was in AEW or when he was in ROH and all that stuff, like saying I'm looking at you and all. I was like, yeah.
You know what Triple H is? He's the guy who wants to fuck your girl.
Yep.
So I think if Cody, Cody was like, let me get his girl. That's what it is. It's not about actually wanting Cody. It's about taking him away from Tony Khan.
Yep, I agree. And that's basically it for the day, y'all. Shout out to another episode of We Talk Combats. We appreciate you, Deitrich, for joining the show. Also, right now, hold on. Before, let me get to the rest of the stuff real quick, and I'll give you a second to actually promote yourself, Deitrich. Right? But if you haven't already, guys, do us a favor and hit the subscribe button somewhere near BA's left shoulder if you're new to the channel. Also, hit the like button and the notification bell to know when we drop new videos. We do them every Sunday around 3 p.m. Eastern, unless a show going on the PLE, and then we drop the shows a little later as a review right after the show. Also, follow us again on We Talk Combat Clips, where we have condensed versions of our shows and the shorts. Also, if you haven't already, our other shows, follow them. First and foremost, we got Cuz We Geek with BA and Rel, Will, and Big J. They talk about all things geek culture and movies and television. Shout out to my guys. They do shows every Tuesday and Saturday. They're always talking about good stuff over there. Help them get to their next subscriber goal of 500 over there as well. Also, follow us on Cap and Crown, myself and Rel. We talk about all things old school and new school basketball. Help us get to our next goal of 5,000 subscribers over there, y'all. We have shows every Monday and Wednesday evening. And also, lastly, but do not forget, follow BA along with Larry and Calvin, the 695 crew, over on Get Off the Damn Fence, where they talk about all things pop culture, but mainly sports. My guys over there do shows every Wednesday evenings. Check them out over there as well. We're pretty busy over here. And Deitrich, the floor is yours, bro. What do you have going on right now? Tell them about your new Wrestling World Order and anything else, where they can find you, all that nonsense.
It's pretty simple. I just got the Patreon up and running. I haven't promoted it yet, but you got New Wrestling World Order on Patreon. We got the New Wrestling World Order on YouTube. You guys can follow me on social media at Deitrich Davis on all platforms. I really only use Twitter and Instagram, but it's to promote it there, and pretty much that the bubble of content is growing. If you guys would like the New Wrestling World Order, I took it down to update everything, the video, so all of that will be going to Spotify and iTunes and video format. No more audio formats. I had to finish talking with Apple about that to get that done correctly. So after the shows are over, it'll all roll back to Spotify and iTunes for people who can't watch it at work, can't watch YouTube there. The shows on the audio side has over 100,000 subscribers just on audio alone. So it's just making sure that we grow that audience and keep the New Wrestling World Order growing there. And you guys know how I do it. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Wednesdays, and Fridays, I do live shows, and Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays is the pre-recorded stuff. So that's pretty much it. I keep it nice and simple and in one place.
My God, we appreciate you, Deitrich. We'll be doing, and this will definitely be the first of probably many. Hopefully, we can get you back on the show again, bro.
No problem.
And do some more work. Also, I have all this information in the description, y'all, of the show. If you haven't noticed already, just go there and look it up. You can see his Instagram, X, all that stuff. Even Blue Sky I might have put on there because I know you have Blue Sky.
Yeah, I barely use it. I gotta remember that Blue Sky exists. I try, but it's not on my radar to focus on.
We used to do a Maverick show for the Dallas Mavericks. We changed it to all basketball. So we actually talked to Mark Cuban. He was supposed to be a guest on the show. Like we have a whole he's following us on the channel on his Blue Sky and all that. I think he really wanted this because his brothers in a moment and all. But yeah, but that never happened. That's a whole different story. But again, y'all follow Deitrich on all his stuff is in the description. Follow
Absolutely.
New. It's awesome. Like I say, he's real. He tells it to you like it is.
It's not a safe space.
It's
Oh, no,
not a
it's
safe
not.
space, but
It's
he
not
will
a
tell
safe
you
space.
facts. He will give you facts and have you laughing as well.
If the
Like,
trolls want to
video
come
I
in,
saw was great.
if the trolls want to come, you are welcome. The toll will be your soul. I will put your face on that screen. I will make fun of you. I will violate you.
You had your one guy, what was it, Eli or whatever that was on there
He
talking.
kept saying
that one
Ellie.
time
He
or
kept saying
whatever.
Ellie.
Eli. Yeah, that's a whole. There's storylines going on over on my channel. It's like a whole show over there when it's live. So I needed a week to decompress from it because sometimes it's a little bit. Putting together a show is not as easy as people think it is. This YouTube market is not easy. Podcasting is not easy. So when you're putting on a broadcast, it's like a lot to it.
It's a performance.
And I don't have a lot of people in the audience, but when you got 200 to 300 people and they're all talking, and I'm trying to read every comment,
Same time,
it's a lot to process. So I needed a break for myself. This, that, and the other. I wanted to set the memberships in when they could come in and buy memberships at $6 a month. I'm not trying to do the 50,000 tiers. Yeah, well, we'll do movie reviews and wrestling match reviews and shit like that. So it's a market in itself, and I think YouTube is one of the best businesses anybody can jump into if they have the debate. Even if you just have a cell phone and an idea, just cut that shit on and start doing the work.
Right.
Don't worry about what something costs and what you may need, unless you're doing something extremely specific.
Yes, sir.
And
before we go, check us out on Spotify and all as well, y'all. We have all the shows on Spotify ourselves. He reminded me when he said that.
So you
shout
got
out
video or audio on Spotify?
We're video now. I used to
Okay,
be
good.
audio with Cap and Crown, but once they switched it, we started doing video, and then
Good. That's the smartest move to do. Make everything video.
I make everything. If they give me the option, I use it, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, and
This is
real
what
quick,
it is.
we are
So
showing
video.
Super Broly movie on Playback on August 22nd on Saturday at 9:30.
Yes,
I forgot to
and
plug
it-
that in there.
And
Which
if you're
one? Are you
interested-
talking about the 80s one or the current?
No, the new one.
No,
Yep, the
the
new one,
newer one.
2018.
She's
Okay.
going to do it. And
Yeah,
if you're
I was
interested
I am
as well,
trying to find the old one too, though. Like I was trying to find that first.
Oh,
if you're
okay.
interested as well, like Queen said earlier in the show at the beginning, she has her chemo, her third session tomorrow. We have the GoFundMe. Her GoFundMe is in the description as always. If you're interested in either supporting or just sharing, please do. With all that being said, y'all, shout out to New Wrestling World Order. Shout out to our guy Deitrich. This is We Talk Combats, the best damn wrestling review show around. See us
And the
next week
Blackest.
and the Blackest as well. See us next week, next Sunday, same wrestling time, same wrestling channel, and we out of here, y'all. Peace.